Well, welcome, ladies and gents, to the second semifinal between TheMista and VortiX. Nilly and I are very excited for this. And Nilly, what are your expectations in terms of the entertainment we are about to experience?
If this cliff in the center is closed, not that much. That's a massive cliff. Look at that. It blocks off
What?
the 60% of the map is one cliff.
Were there even cliffs generated in the middle in previous versions of this map?
This is so weird. This
This is a
feels
bug,
so
clearly.
buggy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
I mean, I would say we need to replay this.
No. It's
But
selected maps, Tristan. There's no
yeah,
map restarts.
maybe they just have to roll with it. All right, well, what do you think of the Civ matchup then? Because Mista is starting off with something crazy.
Indeed, we have him starting with Abbasid, something we did not see that often. Actually, might be quite interesting if he, well, already sends 4 on gold. We'll love to see how he tries to approach this one. VortiX is playing with Mongols.
Yeah, so Mongols probably a civ that people have seen more frequently. You rely on the Uvu, which gives you some stone. That can also help with the production speed. So you have the ability to spend that stone to produce military units by 2, or also villagers by 2. And I think the military units by 2 is really what helps them, because they can flood the map with military. Abbasid, I'm still catching up on here, Nilly. So we're gonna do this together. But if I recall, they've got the cheaper villagers. And they go for the do they go for the mosque, or am I confusing that with Delhi?
Delhi? Yeah, those are the two civilizations that I'm completely mixing up over and over again as well. And yeah, I think those are the ones with the mosque. And we have the House of Wisdom now coming in. So not a lot of them out yet.
Mhm.
And VortiX actually has his TC next to the Ovu. Could go for double villager production. Did not
Yeah,
decide to go for it yet.
yeah, I noticed that. Right, I have seen the Uvu be further away. You could utilize that, but didn't go for that. Granted, yeah, he's got the stone. It's 150 stone and 50 food to produce 2 villagers. So maybe that should be something he should have done. Quick question, Nilly. If you could just pause at well, I'm at 252 right now, and I think you're a couple seconds ahead of me, and I can't catch up for some reason. So just pause at a point, and then we can
Okay, I'm
we
at
can go.
3-5. Give me a countdown.
Sure, I'll tell you exactly when. One sec. Go. We're good. Thank you. That will mean we're in sync. And yeah, the Abbasid is Civ I oftentimes confused, but I really like the concept behind using the House of Wisdom. You want to expand your wings in the building, and then if you do that, you can upgrade to different tiers. And if you advance to those tiers, you just have more efficiency. So great eco civ, just unique in how it works.
Deerstone being built and the Gur is being transferred here. So Vortex won't stay on gold. Interesting, and did keep all his stone as well. So that's going to be mass scout or mass archers. Production has to be crazy here, I believe.
Yeah, okay, no golds. It's still very trippy for me, but I'm used to it now. Archer's not costing gold. Kind of like a trash play, so to speak. The thing is, like, we know the Mongols are probably going to make a lot of military. That is not unexpected at this point. But we haven't seen enough play from the Abbasid to really know their go-to. And it has been Mista paving the way with this Civ. I think he won with them in his quarterfinal as well.
Or is it with the mass amount of villagers that he has on wood in extra TC play? Look at that, it's not going for the barracks. He still keeps some on cheap. Like, with the long distance, it would make sense. Would make lots of sense.
Okay, so the thing that bothers me about the TC play is that why wouldn't he utilize his stone then? Like, why is he banking stone and not trying to use that in some way? Like, I think I would produce, if I wanted to boom, I would produce 2 villagers at a time, use the stone, and then, yeah, and then have some more villas on wood. So I don't know. It's tricky to say, though, as we have the Khan being annoying.
Maybe he
against
still
that
needs it for
villager.
faster production later on for his scouts skirm switch.
Right? Guess we'll
Huh.
find out here, Nilly. We'll
Well,
find out
it's
soon enough.
600 wood in the bank, so the answer Feels like pretty obvious to us. The question is, where will he build his TC? Or, like, where does he build it? It's not important. Where will he send it?
Yeah, that's true. You can send it anywhere. Maybe just build it right away and then move it around later on. Yeah, still hasn't gone for any buildings, Nilly. So, yeah, I think you're right. This
Oh
will
no,
be
archer range.
Where, though? Oh, there it is, yeah.
But could just be one archer range and then a TC
Black.
regardless. No, goes for black. What? Okay.
Interesting. Making a... Oh, wow. Okay, so now he's sent his Gur over to gold. He's making another one next to wood.
A villager could actually go down here. Oh, the Khan found a villager kill.
Oh, wow. Khan killed the villager. Villagers were also pulled off gold, and the blacksmith now on the way up for Mista. I feel like if you're losing villagers to Khans, you're doing something wrong. Khans only have 4 attack. I mean, they are really mobile and really, I guess with skilled players will be able to pick off some vills regardless, but it should not happen.
Yeah. Especially he microed back another one earlier. So, yeah, small hiccup there. Now goes for the archer defense. Should be pretty easy. The question is, what is the follow-up behind this? Now got double archer production, and you only need to invest 80 stone for a second archer, while you needed to invest 150 stone for a second villager.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that too, because I think 150 stone seems pretty pricey for the vills. Still gives you the option to do it, though, so lots of archers on the way. And he's also getting Steeled Arrow. So he's going to have more range damage. And I want to know if Mista has scouted any of this, because it feels like Mista hasn't been scouting too well. Oh my god, he doesn't know anything right now.
Interesting. Still stays at home, double archer range. Maybe he was really scared of an early attack from Mongols, but it never came.
Yeah. I remember Mista in game 1 against Marine Lord. He was very defensive, and I wonder if that is a... You know how some players need to ease their way into being comfortable in a competitive set? It could be a Civ matchup thing, but I wonder if that's a thing for Mista, where maybe the nerves are a little too strong. He plays game 1 more defensive than he maybe should. I mean, he is making double range archers, though, so it's not like he's just sitting back.
Huh. I also think this was like the instant longbow spearman aggression from Marine Lord, which really forced you into it. So it was more on the reacting side.
Yeah, sure. No, I get that. Okay, I really hope that this Khan gets dealt with, because at this point, it's annoying me.
Yeah.
He's doing such a good job. Oh, it's just constantly moving around with the Khan. Oh, get it? Constantly, huh?
No, I
Funny.
got it.
Huh?
No, I like it. Okay, now the TC is getting dropped for VortiX next to the berries.
I don't mind this because you can move it anywhere else you want with Mongols if you change your mind later. So
I think between the berries and the woodline is not an unlikely scenario.
Oh, because units can't get up on that cliff area. What about on the other side of the berries so you're close to the hunt as well? But, you know, maybe we won't see that prioritized too much.
Yeah.
Well, like we said, Nilly, bugged map gen for the semi, and now you're going to see military run the whole way around. So, does definitely give the defender an advantage, but look at this. We've got the archers moving out from Mista, and he's just going to get pounced on by VortiX. This is so good from VortiX.
Uh-oh, what is that? 4-0 KD now. Might even go higher. Nice aggression. Good start for VortiX. Where was the other half of Mista's archers?
He was back at home. He was just chasing the Khan. He got annoyed. But I just think it's so cool how we have those unique abilities with the Khan. And I love how the players have already picked up on how to use that. Use the speed there and just chase that down. Mista sitting back. The only thing you've got to think of is Mista has 10% faster gathering rate. If it feels like he's playing defensive, he is, because he's trying to upgrade through the House of Wisdom right now.
Still lots of buildings to go through though, so quite some way to get there. Also remember Mongols, they're pretty efficient. Always short walking distances because they can reposition their Gurs and TCs, and I think that's something that's being slept on as well.
I think if this was the more open gen, I would say 2 TCs is perfect, and then you go for Rams. Well, here are the Rams now, but maybe even a world where you see a third TC in the future for VortiX. But I think the safe approach is go for the ensure that you're going to have a better eco by adding the second town center, and then punish the player who's sitting back. Do not allow him to get too wise through the House of Wisdom, because if that eco kicks in and gets even stronger, then you could have some issues.
How can he afford an extra TC and go for the ram play? That shouldn't be a thing.
No, he can't. I'm saying either or, right?
But he is doing it.
Oh! Wait, what? Where is it? Why am I not seeing it right now? Unless I'm completely...
With his main army, VortiX has a ram already.
Yeah, I see the
And
ram.
extra TC.
Third TC. He's on 2. Are you saying there's a third, or...?
No, there's 2 TCs, but that's like 1,200 wood that the opponent should have extra.
Ah, yeah, I see what you mean. Okay. Yeah, it just wasn't on the same page there. I feel bad for the sheep that has to be in the midst of this army right now. Also, Mista is missing +1 attack on his archers.
But I'd rather be a sheep led by a Khan than a Khan led by a sheep.
True. What was that weird noise? Did you hear that?
What?
Yeah, it looked like
I heard nothing.
Looked like a lightning strike came down next to the Khan. Why is the ram rolling home right now? That's what I don't understand.
Maybe just wanted to threaten the attack. He is still on 2 TC. I think the ram push would have been a bad idea. I think it was to fake aggression.
Fake aggression. Okay.
And since Mista didn't scout for so long...
Like faking aggression with moving your military is something I've seen a lot before. But the whole making and investing into a unit to never use it thing is a foreign concept to me, Nilly.
It's genius, I believe. Showing a ram... and just going back, and now he is on the way to the Castle Age. Like, how can Mista not be scared of an attack now?
Well, I mean, Mista's on the way to Castle Age. He's got the House of Wisdom. The House of Wisdom is halfway to tier 2. So I don't think Mista's situation is necessarily bad either. So, interesting. But we should check the villager numbers maybe. Mista with 41 eco, 38 military certainly is making a lot. And it's 49 eco, 28 military for VortiX.
Now goes for a stable. Is that the horseman play? Even double stable? Huh, could be. I think that could be a good option for him against all those archers.
Yeah, horseman would make sense against only archers. Is there anything unique we should be thinking of? Wait a second. What is that bird? Does the bird have a weird bonus in this game?
Oh, the ram? There is the Khan, I think, can do the bird technology. Like in the Scouting Falcon. Releases a falcon that provides vision in the area for 30 seconds.
Okay, that's what he's using. Because that's the second time I heard the bird. And I would love to see that utilized again. And actually, I think we're seeing the vision from the Scouting Falcon as the Scouting Falcon disappears now. And yeah, he can see that Mista's on the way with the Mangonel and those archers.
Okay, let's see what he can do. Now builds a Spring Guild on open field as well. Camel's being added as well here. Camel Archer out of the archer range. Only plays with 2 archer ranges. Upgrade again. Strange units is happening as well. Oh, this is going to be tricky for VortiX to hold.
Yeah, VortiX does have the villagers, but Mista has the efficiency right now. Mista, I would describe him as a player of extremes. I use that a lot in my commentary nowadays, but...
Are you a caster of extremes, maybe?
Maybe I'm a caster of extremes. Maybe that's the way to say it. Maybe I'm a player of
extremely entertaining.
Ah, haha, thank you, Nilly. Thank you. Like, what I mean by that is, he's just sitting at home this whole game. But that is suited his game plan. And now we got to see some camel archers even. And it's time for him to push out. Will VortiX be able to respond to this, Nilly? Mista is producing a lot of military. He's at 100 pop. VortiX, though, at 98. It's so close.
Quite some lancers here. TC abandoned, actually. Pulled all the villagers away. Quite surprised by this.
Can't you just run away with it?
Yeah, I think you can. Oh, but he rather goes for the attack. Lancers are now coming in, Tristan.
All right, and the Springolds are there. The Springolds are in the front, though. The Mangonel pulls back, and look at that. The Khan is here. So you have the increased abilities of the military for VortiX. Plus, he has his buildings very close by. Plus, he's Mongol, so he can field more military. The veteran archer is doing a pretty good job, and the ram for Mista is going to soak up some of this damage if VortiX doesn't focus fire. And VortiX pulling back right now.
Oh, good fight for VortiX. Found so many kills there against the siege, but Mista can obviously rebuild that siege, while VortiX still without the siege workshop. And look at his Q in the archer range. Oh no, 6 archers in the Q.
Oh wow, that is insane. Yeah, he needs to get another range up here, Nilly. But it's hard to focus on those specifics sometimes when you're under pressure. And even though these guys have played so much of this game, there's still got to be a sense of getting used to things and getting that in-game feel down, which can take time. Okay, see the units healing up a little bit. That's good to see. Bracing for the next attack as we now have a few Springles in the ram after the TC again. Again, you could just roll away with, but it seems like VortiX wants to defend it.
Oh, villagers being pulled again, but they are getting slaughtered while trying to get there. Lancers are coming in for the Springles.
Yeah, Lancer's doing really well against the Springolds. The only thing that's tricky here is that's a lot of villagers fighting. Is it worth it to have villagers out in the front like this if you're VortiX?
Well,
if villagers, maybe.
Villagers have the torch damage against the siege units, so that's why VortiX was putting them. He obviously has more of them now with more speed to chase those units down. I think this is really good for VortiX.
Yeah, he's chasing it down now. He used the con. He does lose the con, but look at what those Lancers are able to accomplish on the front. And VortiX, man, still getting the ability. He's got so much speed with these veteran archers, and he is all over this. And I think he could just push this right back.
Oh, feels like another Springle being built in the back, the one at the front being denied, and VortiX gets a beautiful clear up and should still have a reasonable economy behind this. 51 against 53 villagers.
Yeah, he just completely wrecks that army. Wow, and the Springle's not firing here, if I'm not mistaken. I think they have a minimum range similar to...
No, it's not built. It's not finished.
It's not built. Okay. Do they have a minimum range, though?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, all right. So half correct, I guess. And that's what he's falling back to right now, and maybe that will mean that VortiX will pull back until he gets some Lancers in. But oof. I want to look at the House of Wisdom here. House of Wisdom, 19 out of 30. So yeah, with all the commitment to fighting and military... As you see the lonely ram for Mista going after the TC.
Landmarks being moved. VortiX is going for it. He's jumping. The Lancers unanswered. I think the Springles aren't defended well enough.
He just doesn't have the numbers, Nilly. He does not have the numbers, and he knows it, and he calls the game. VortiX takes game number 1 and semifinal number 2. And it was a weird one from the start with this map, Nilly, but VortiX, he expanded to the second TC, he defended from the attack, and there was no doubt in my mind. He was about to destroy Mista.
That mind game with a ram in his face, that costs so much. And then the extra TC, the hold, nice pull of those villagers against the siege attack.
Did the villagers change? Okay, so there's two things here, and I'll plead ignorance on this one, but like, I'm not sure that the ram fake made Mista do anything that he wouldn't have already otherwise done, right?
Okay.
I think he was just making archers anyways, regardless, and going Castle Age.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm also unsure on if pulling like that many villagers was necessarily a swinger there. Like, I think that he was still going to clear that, but he definitely needed to take care of that ram, so well played.
I think the villagers just added so much damage. Then the Lancers could jump on the archers. Archers can just dive in deeper. And he had the villager lead, so he could afford it.
That's true. I mean, he only lost 3 or 4. My concern was when he's running uphill with 15, but it didn't really matter. I also loved how he utilized the con in the early stages of the Dark Age, even killing a villager with that. And then the con was still very useful throughout the entire game. So VortiX clearly showing that he is capable with Mongols, and Mista off to a rough start here.
Ooh, interesting one. And it felt...
What's the range for Mongols now, Nilly?
What do you mean?
Do you have any statisticians out there?
Someone's just asked like 8-1 is what my chat is rumoring.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyways, I interrupted you, but they seem very strong.
Yeah, but honestly, Abbasid, what did we do so special here? What bonus did we use?
House of Wisdom?
But that's 10% more working rate.
Which is not crazy. It's
Yeah.
like Mista probably had 10% less vills. So like, especially against Mongols where they don't need their vills to move around very much. I feel like the Mongol economy was probably better than the House of Wisdom.
Just double archery range.
It definitely didn't seem too strong. Like VortiX utilized a lot of bonuses, expanded, did a lot of things, and oh boy, you see the Civ matchup for the next one, Nilly. It is going to be Mongols for Mista now. And VortiX is going for Delhi.
And he looked strong with Delhi yesterday. Didn't he open with Delhi, I believe? And Lucifron played Delhi as well. So, yeah, those two Spanish brothers certainly have some plans with them. And the big question will be, do we see a run for those sacred sites?
Maybe. Yep, that's one of the big things to talk about. Hopefully the admins will tell us what the map will be. It looks like it will be Mongolian Heights. Yeah. And that's why you mentioned sacred sites, right? There's 2, I believe, on this map.
Yep, only 2. And Delhi simply with the scholars that you can build, you can take them in feudal age with the upgrades. That's a big difference.
What said was it yesterday where someone had Delhi on Hill and Dale and they went for a ton of military up the middle?
Hillendale.
I think that was Viper versus Lucifron.
Viper was Lucifron. Delhi, Lucifron won. Yeah, but against Abbasid Viper, but that was mainly lost due to the overtop in the center. And the man-at-arm simply came in and wrecked him.
Yeah, VortiX and Lucifron like Delhi, which is probably a standout from some of the other players. Most of the other players are prioritizing similar civs in similar spots. I think Viper's been a little bit more creative with the same civs, if that makes sense. But these Mongols, man, just feels like their eco is top notch. The ability to flood eco or flood military is unmatched. And then you have the con, which allows you to even increase your attacks. It's like they've got 3 various things going for them at all times.
Yeah. And we were complaining that Mangodai are not strong enough. But yeah, not going for Mangodai maybe is the option there. The earlier TC as well didn't go for gold for such a long time. Just felt really efficient and such a compact base as well.
Yeah.
We mentioned yesterday, like, dealing damage to Mongols simply is tricky.
Yeah, very tricky. Yeah, in like some cases, it feels like it's a mistake to go and attack Mongols because they're able to just defend so quickly. But you also don't want to play defensive against Mongols. So I don't know. I don't have any answers. But I think they've done a good job with the settings of this tourney because if indeed there are 1 or 2 OP civs or there are a lot of like civ mismatches, the correct way of doing it is allow them to play with any civ, but they cannot repeat if they win. So I think that has worked out and it's been pretty fair.
Yeah. Obviously, it is fair. I am a big fan of showcasing even more civs and more variety, but I got talked out of it, and I can see the reasoning, right? People aren't like all full-time players, and it was open to 512 people, so like them trying to learn 2 civs, maybe 3 civs if they go super deep, is the better approach here. And my mind was like, okay, force them into all like map civilization ban and then a draft and such, but I think this system is better than what I would have gone for.
Yeah, it's not the time to do anything more complicated than that. That complicated stuff can come later on. I think if you force people to play with different civs than what we're seeing now, it could just be stomps due to the civs, truthfully. Like, I think there's reasons where currently we're not seeing a few civs. One of those reasons is they haven't practiced them as much, but also probably because they're just weaker.
Holy Roman Empire and China, they don't feel like they have too much going on for them. Although for the Viper, he loves his men-at-arms, right? And Holy Roman Empire, they're mighty there.
This is true. So did Doubt, and in a best of one, free pick, he went for Holy Roman Empire. Do you remember who Doubt lost to, actually?
Donna Artie.
Isn't that an AoE 3 player?
I don't know.
AoE 3 fans have to give me some respect for this if I call that one. I think that guy is known within the Age of Empires 3 scene. But it could be way off base.
Don Artie. Games. Age of Empires 3, Age of Empires 4. Lifetime winning $722. 500 of them from Genesis. So yeah, he won a charity Age of Empires 3 event or show match for $100. So yeah, Age of Empires 3 player, but not with the craziest results. Played a solid 16 to 19 result. So best of 39. No, best of 37.
Yeesh. Okay. That's a lot of
What am I witnessing here?
Oh, God. Well, we have game 2 here, VortiX.
Okay.
Playing as the Delhi, and then we have Mista playing as the Mongols. We know the Mongols. We know what they're good at. Still things to figure out, but more established. And then VortiX, he and his brother Lucifron, they really believe in the civilization. And starting off the game here, VortiX opens up here, and he's getting a bunch of researches. Sanctity, efficient production, piety. Is it piety? Piety? No, it's piety, I think, or something like that. And then herbal medicine. And Nili, could you please explain, though, to the uninformed, why we're seeing all these researchers come in and how Delhi operate as a civ?
Well, all their upgrades, and I repeat, all their upgrades are for free. They just take so much longer. And you can increase that upgrade speed by building multiple mosques and putting some scholars in there. Every mosque can hold up to 3 scholars. And the bigger your radius, the more buildings you have connected to each other, I think the faster the upgrades as well.
Yep. Yeah, so you want to build up, like you're getting your upgrades now, but it takes so long. And then eventually, hopefully you'll have more upgrades than the opponent. That's kind of the idea. So in many ways, it's more of a defensive civ against the Mongols, which I think can do everything, but seem to be more aggressive.
Like the more mosque in your radius is what I want to say. Like if you add houses, I think that's not really speeding you up too much.
Yeah. Like if you click the mosque, actually, it'll show the border. So you actually see every villager. This is perfectly placed. Every villager, for the most part, is within there. Every building as well. So not bad. What units do Delhi go for? Like, kind of feel like you're gonna see the same situation as the Abbasid. It's like their units don't excite you. Do they have any unique units that really set them apart here?
Did he just collect? Oh, VortiX collected some gold, but did send them back because he scouted the stable, and Mista's actually going for 6 extra scouts.
What? 6 extra scouts? Well, that's new. He made that stable right next to the Uvu, and yeah, good scouting from VortiX there. I guess he realizes the villagers will be exposed there, and that gold might not be super helpful either.
But what are 6 scouts giving you that 4 aren't giving you? Huh.
Additional scouting, 33% more scouts.
Wait. From 40 to 6. How many percent are that?
40
No, let's not go. No. You said you didn't want to be my student anyway, so let's not go into that. Yeah, more scouts for sure. And maybe in the long run, he wants to research professional scouts and simply carry those deer over home.
Yeah, maybe some spears will come out. I think professional scouts is normally the play when you see the additional scouts, but I've never seen 6 at this stage. I've never seen that. I've only seen like 4, and then use it for economic purposes. Excuse me.
Mining camps is getting attacked. Barracks had to be built here, otherwise he would never get onto gold. But VortiX fuel age timing will be really late. Way later than what he normally wants to go for.
Yeah, because you can't take that gold, right? But I mean, I feel like these spearmen are very strong against these scouts. If you've got a few, you can just bring villagers back to gold, and it looks like VortiX is doing that now. So he wasn't surprised by this, Nili. He's slowly working his way towards those upgrades with Delhi. So just brace yourself for the attack. Don't take a lot of losses, but there's like nothing you can do if Mista wants to get professional scouts and collect all the deer.
Yeah, feels like it. But professional scouts, obviously, a feudal age upgrade, and well, costs quite some gold, 275 gold, and well, already 4 in gold, and now we go for deer stones as a landmark.
All right, deer stones on the way. We'll see if those scouts end up collecting that food in the feudal age. That's one of my favorite upgrades in Age of Empires 4. There are some that I love, some that I hate, but I really like professional scouts. It's very unique.
Yeah. Also, like, gives you a reward for building lots of army.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I do. I do like the whole deer pushing thing as well, but we don't have that as much here. So
Big problem though for the Mister now. He forces opponent into spearmen that are now perfect at protecting the scholar.
you can take that sacred site, Dilly.
Yeah, that's 200 gold per minute for the player.
That is a lot of gold. Like, how many villagers would you need on gold to bring in 200 gold a minute?
What was the math? I think you're collecting 10 gold every 15 seconds, so that's like 5 villagers on gold.
That's crazy at this stage of the game. I mean, we're talking 22 eco for VortiX. Now he's got the sacred site. So if that's like a +5 villager lead, and there's more for the taking, you could see why maybe Delhi is the choice.
Feels like it. Damn, it feels like I'm casting here for 2 weeks, for 2 days, and I feel like I want to play like 50 games and want to try everything, want to really try those strategies myself.
Yeah, I completely relate, and then I get into the game, and then it feels like a chore. So right, I'm waiting for some improvements because the whole hotkey thing is tough for.
I already explained you. Blacksmith, markets, Control X, Control C. It's easy.
So the workaround's going to be something I work on this week, Nilly, and
Okay,
at least some go-to hotkeys will make it feel like less of a chore for me. So I don't want it to be. Trust me, I want to try this stuff. So good contest there from Mista, but I mean he wasn't able to really do too much in the long run. He just showed up and left. The VortiX will be in the second age. He's got the Dome of Faith. It means you can produce scholars at 50% cost from the landmark. So we'll see more scholars, which of course is what the Delhi are all about.
Indeed, into production started last time we looked at it, and should be coming in pretty soon. House needs to be rushed out, and we have the barracks and the archery range now by VortiX, still controlling 2 sacred sites, but Mr. contesting the one in the center now.
Yeah, contesting the one in the center. Good job with that too. He also has got the professional scouts on the left side. He hasn't picked up those carcasses just yet. You've got to expect that's going to happen as we see a barracks at home for Mista. No surprise based on what we've seen so far from Mongols. They like their spearmen. They like their archer play.
And yeah, Carcass is now left-hand side. I think he's still waiting for the upgrade. No, he got the upgrade.
Yeah. He just needed to do something else, I guess.
Yeah, maybe just finished.
Yeah, he's going to run home.
That's 2,000 food arriving at home now.
There's so many. And it's like, I mean, the scouts were an investment, we have to say. He made them rather early. He's at 29 villagers. VortiX is at 29 as well. Wow, okay. But we see double barracks at home, Nilly. Yeah, we're definitely going to see some spearmen come out. Maybe some rams, maybe some archers, as we've seen so consistently from the Mongols.
For now, barracks stable. The second barracks, so he's not going for an archer range at all, which really surprises me. After seeing all those spearmen, archer range would feel natural to me.
Yeah, I was thinking he would go spears and archer, but I don't know. I mean, he's got the barracks. He's got to pack up the barracks and move it closer to the Uvu for the ability to produce double time. That's good. And this is where Mongols start to shine for me. This is where all that food's coming in from professional scouts, and then the double production from the buildings.
He didn't drop off the food though. The scouts went to the front.
Oh no! What a waste. What a waste. Okay, well, at least he's not too far away. Like, if you travel to the complete other side of the map and realize that would be frustrating.
Going
Still
to
to get them all dropped off. There we go.
Going to the castle age now. Is the Mista already?
Yeah.
I don't like
Alright,
the
what
amount
about-
of scholars that we are seeing. This is like only the third scholar that is actually working at home. I think he lacked some production there earlier. Out of the Dome
he's
of Faith.
rushing House of Learning up right now. As it grants no immediate bonus. That's a great way to start. Other than advancing to the next stage, but contains many unique economic and religious technologies, so a bit more mysterious. And I'm actually not super familiar with all those technologies in that House of Learning.
It's a bit like a weaker university, I would say. And it's not like crazy anything that's like completely game breaking that I thought like, okay, you have to go for it. Lots of deer stolen now.
Oh, ho, ho, ho. That's not bad. That is not bad. Villagers now have to find another task for VortiX, and Mista just takes all that food home. What a lamer boy. I don't know, man. I'm waiting for my mindset on Delhi to shift. Maybe we still have to learn stuff. The House of Learning is complete, but it's just
More
I
pop
mean,
space.
taking the sacred sites is great, but I don't know what units they're gonna make against the Mongols.
Well, it depends on what the Mongols is going for, right? Right now it feels like stable blacksmith, so it's going to be the man-at-arm play. So you now need to switch into crossbowman. He's going some man-at-arms himself.
I feel like if crossbowmen come out, maybe you start to see some lancers though with Mongols, right? Like, isn't man-at-arm lancer very strong against just crossbowmen?
No. Because both are high armored, which is where crossbowmen are shining. Actually, they are countering both, yeah. You need to go archer man-at-arm.
You're saying the man-at-arms are coming out from VortiX. Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, for both players.
Oh yeah, there's men-at-arms on the other side as well. Okay, yep.
Sacred side at the left-hand side, not contested.
Yeah, and the one on the right is now being contested by Mista. He's trying to eliminate that one from the equation.
An upgrade that is coming in is the +3 attack for the men-at-arms for VortiX, though. So he will win every heads-up fight.
Yeah, and now that I think back, I think that's what Lucifron had
Against the Viper.
against the Viper when he beat Viper in their quarter, yeah.
Indeed, same play. Still a bit surprised that VortiX never tried to contest the left-hand side. There.
I guess he's got a very slow group out and about, right? It's kind of hard to split up when you've got such slow units, but yeah, maybe.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Like, I wouldn't feel comfortable splitting armies too much with this type of a slow comp. If I had scouts, it'd be different.
Mista going for another group of scouts trying to get some more food home. Still 2 sacred sites under control. No, actually only 1 sacred site under control right now. And VortiX, I think he won't mind this scenario. Simply getting all the upgrades now.
Yeah.
Should set him up nicely for the long game.
41 eco, 41 military. Where you look at Mista, 42 eco, 27 military. And at least if the units are as they are right now, the military in a military v military engagement is stronger for VortiX. But there are Springolds. Springolds can change these fights. Mista should see this. I think you need to run back here for VortiX, but he does have the extra attack. He's going to take the fight anyways, Nilly. And he says, screw the Springolds. He's going to run in there and go after them.
Oh, but can he really? Springles trying to micro, but missed their timing. Should maybe go next to the town center to help out there. The rest of the army of VortiX has to retreat. Mista trying to save for Springles. I think he will.
It feels like he will. I mean, the fact that there's extra attack on VortiX's men-at-arms have meant nothing in this fight because they're just chasing. They're not getting any engagements in whatsoever.
Now splitting the Springles. 2 at the top,
smart.
hoping to fight. Offers 2 to die there, basically.
Yeah, and that was really good. That was a really smart play from him. Great defense there from Mista. Look at this. He's even chasing back the units in the center from VortiX. There's so much for the extra attack there, Nilly. Mista outmaneuvered him there. And the Springolds were the perfect bait.
Why did we need to fight here if we have VortiX? We had control over the sacred sites. We had more upgrades coming in.
Yeah.
We were fighting 1v1 TCs. And our army is only getting better from here.
Yeah, I mean, kind of see what you mean. He is going to contest the sacred site on the left finally. He also is going to contest the one on the right. We'll lose the access to the one in the middle. I don't know. Maybe you get that extra attack and you think, I just kill everything with this, and then you get caught in that attack state of mind until you see a Springald. And he definitely didn't scout that ahead of time, Nilly. The Springald seems like such a good choice for Mista.
And then he tried to jump on it.
This is going to continue here, Nilly. We have 5 Springalds. We have the Mangonel. We could even have some Rams, maybe. And we could see this push come in. Lots of farms for VortiX. Wow, okay.
Yeah, I'm a bit surprised. And those are really exposed there at the front.
Good job there from Mista on the sacred sites, by the way. Like, he denies the one on the right. He also went over to the left with his con and sniped the other one, too. So it looks like VortiX had some success there.
More production here by VortiX, but those farms are so exposed. Still only 1 TC play.
I want to see what I really wish we had production queue on screen. I want to see what his production looks like right now. He's got... I mean, he doesn't have that many military buildings, I guess.
Who? The VortiX or the Mista?
VortiX has a decent amount, actually. It looks like he's got the queue going. He's making more men-at-arms and more spearmen.
Only 2 men-at-arms in production right now. Now add some more. But he's mainly building Springalds at the front.
Springald after Springald. Someone in my chat just said Springalds are the new Cobra car.
Yeah, in some form. Multiple raiding armies here now. The Mista at the right-hand side, at the left-hand side. Still some more control, while building up a crazy army in the center.
Yeah, it's so smart. Because you know he's bracing for the attack in the middle. That's what any sane player would do right now. And so you find opportunities elsewhere. I love that. And then he could maybe lead this to a successful attack in the middle. Look, VortiX said I can push out now because he's on the sides. And no, you can't. Or maybe he can, Nilly. I don't know. That's a lot of men-at-arms. Look at them run.
Oh, trying to go through there. Tries to jump on the Springalds first.
Man, they've slowed down now, but they speedily ran out there. And it's the same thing as Mista did before. He's pulling his Springalds back. It feels like the Springalds are fast enough where he's able to get away with them, but he hasn't been using them in the fight either. I feel like this is better for Mista again.
I think so as well. So many men-at-arms are going down. The Mangonel, I think, could be saved. 1 Springald is being saved as well. And that's all the army of VortiX going down here. I think it's just Mista building like 2-3 more siege units and then charges in for another attack with a massive lead.
Yeah, is VortiX being a little stubborn with his unit comp? Just continuing with infantry? Or has he committed too much to it to go back now?
I don't know what he could have gone for. Is it maybe Springalds himself?
Yeah, I think the only way to counter Springalds is maybe match it with your own Springalds. That's the state we're in. But I'll tell you what, man. Mongols have me sold as a civ. But, and Mista has me sold as a player here, but VortiX has tried his best. He doesn't have the sacred sites. He takes an awful engagement, just an awful engagement right there in front of his farms, which are so exposed, Nilly, and I don't see a way back for VortiX in this game.
Yeah, neither do I. 105 population now. VortiX is sitting at 33 military still, but it simply feels like that's not really the military that you want against men-at-arms.
Yeah, he's got really bad military here. He's got the spearmen, he's got some archers, and he calls it. We have a 1-1. Mongols, very strong. And the whole experimentation with Delhi still not really convincing to me there. You had mentioned maybe VortiX could have done a better job with the scholars and utilized them a little earlier to increase production and like speed of things. Maybe VortiX could have also done a slightly better job with competing for the sacred sites, but I felt overall he played that pretty well for his civilization and just didn't ever find a position to take a good fight.
Feels a bit like it. Yeah, it was so passive for so long. We had some small skirmishes for the sacred sites, but there was no clear army plan for VortiX except men-at-arms. But men-at-arms died to men-at-arms plus Springalds.
Right? I mean, if he makes his own Springles there, he did have really good food and wood eco. I don't know what that eventually leads you to, but if you use your gold and wood to make Springles and then hold, in theory, the longer the game goes, the more efficient the more upgraded you're going to be as the deli. But I don't know if you're ever going to have a solid time window with deli, especially against civ like Mongols. Like, it takes so long to get your upgrades in that by the time you're starting to feel good about that, you're just going to get swarmed. Maybe. Or he did take a really bad fight against the Springles. He could have just run back in the mid game, nearly.
Yeah, he was a bit out of position there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I'm shocked how few crossbows we are seeing. Hera was kind of the only one that built crossbows against men-at-arms.
Yeah,
on paper, they are the counter.
Yeah, on paper, they're the counter. Hera was also using crossbows against Springles for a time. It was very weird. I don't know, man.
Now, a weird question that I probably shouldn't ask. Do Delhi get knights? Or do they only get elephants?
I honestly do not think they get knights.
Stable. They get lancers. Okay, lancers and elephants, yeah.
Okay, so they get
lancers could be an option. Because lancers get also part of the extra attack. And they will be okay against men-at-arms and just so much better at dealing with those Springles.
I think VortiX was just a little too... Okay, so I could actually make an excellent comparison. If you watch the first semifinal, there were instances where Viper would be like, oh, that's not working. And he'd immediately make a switch, right?
Mm-hmm.
VortiX seems to commit to something, or at least in that game committed to something, and refused to really switch out of it too much. Or at least until it was too late.
I think after losing the first fight, the game was over, right? Because then you're facing like 6 Springles without having a single one your own.
Yeah. Do you want me to make an even more bold prediction and probably say something I shouldn't say?
Go ahead.
I think the game was over the second I saw the civs.
Oh, 100% win rate for Mongols?
I don't know if it's 100%, but
then it wasn't over.
The combination of Mongols being really good and people know how to play them, and Delhi being really bad, and maybe people not knowing how to play them. But like, watch 4 months from now, Nilly, everyone's going to be complaining about Delhi. People will have figured them out, and then I'm going to look like an idiot. So
I think it's not unlikely, and the problem will be that it's likely that devs will patch a civilization that is not played a lot. Then it will get figured out, plus it will have the benefit of the patch.
Yeah. Well, that's how it happens, right? If devs are just going to want the civs that aren't played a lot, or very good, or very fun, to be stronger.
So Mongols are 9-1 now, and the only loss came from Boulder Bay versus French.
Which makes sense, because French are seen as by far the best civ on that map, right?
So they're kind of undefeated, like 9-0 on land maps.
Yeah, it's sick.
Yeah,
it is sick what you're able to do with that civ. You can't even counter them because their eco is very condensed. Oh, I'm excited. I hope this is Arabia. Yes. Yes. Enough of the researching crap in your buildings and hoping for more efficiency. Let's go. I hope we see that meta from French here, Nilly. I've missed a game like this. Royal Knights. And I believe it's just going to be a wild feudal age battle.
Yeah, not unlikely. And Mr. He's guaranteed to go for the better scouts again, professional scouts, and collect those carcasses. I think his approach is really, really nice.
Now, if the French player, like whoever wins with French, then might have to turn around and play on Boulder Bay after that, because the losing player will have French remaining to play on Boulder Bay if they wish. I think French are stronger on Boulder Bay than any other map. I assume this is not Boulder Bay. So this is kind of shaping up if we, have a good... Why would
you assume that, though?
What's that?
Why would you assume it's not Boulder Bay?
Because it makes sense to... It makes sense to have a fallback in a best of 5. Like if you think you're going to win here, right? But what you don't want to do is you don't want to lose, and that... Okay, you know what? Maybe my logic isn't sound. I personally think it would be a land map, try and outplay the opponent, and then if you lose and get outplayed, you just feel like you have a civ advantage going into the next game when you're on the brink of elimination.
But why do you have to go for French then? And what
you mean
what if you play French, you win, and then you have a civ loss on Boulder Bay?
Yeah. So you're saying, why would I assume that a French mirror is on that? Yeah, that's a good point. That's a very good point. I mean, it could be a comfort thing, but I think French have shown some weaknesses against the English. The problem is the strength of the English has come down to one player in particular in the Viper, and the other one, shout out to Marine Lord, as he played Mista in the quarters. He played really good with them, but no one else has really been preferring them.
Yeah, which is quite surprising. I thought they are really figured out. Maybe people don't like that they don't have that much mobility with them.
You are right, though. This could easily be Boulder Bay.
Let's
Could
see.
be what we're hopping into here.
And yeah, building an instant lumber camp. I don't need to see more.
Yeah, so French war on Boulder Bay. Everyone seems to feel like the French are strong, but they are especially strong here. Cheaper eco buildings leading up towards the fishing ships, and then from the fishing ships, we're going to see the hulks out of the docks. The hulks are a very strong ship. Many people feel shouldn't belong in Age 2, but they do. And poor Nilly. Hopefully your stream doesn't suffer too much today.
It will. I did some testing earlier, so yeah, water fights won't be pretty for me. And I think it's the fog on the water. At least that's what we try to figure out. And yeah, I think sorry. Hulk is completely fine, belongs in the game. It simply does not belong in Feudal Age.
Yeah. I agree with you on that. You know, there is a setting for fog. I assume you looked at this, but just a thought. Maybe go to your settings and disable some of the stuff. I think I have fog disabled on mine because I didn't really like how hazy it made some of the things.
Shadow, texture, geometry, physics.
Just a suggestion. I don't know if this is really a time to test it, but you got some berries within the water. Oh no, I'm blind actually. That's more so in the sand, I guess, over here next to VortiX's base, or Mista's base. Whoa, it looked like it was VortiX's base because he's got his scout over here. He's stealing all these sheep that are close by. All right, not bad.
I didn't find the settings.
Settings
for fog.
Settings, graphics. Maybe it might not have been fog. I have shadow quality off.
Shadow
That's what
quality.
It is. Yeah.
Huh.
But again, that's just a thought because
graphics shadow quality off.
No clue if that affects water. I don't think there's many shadows on water, but
no, it's still laggy. The thing is, like, I'm not having any lag in my game. It might just be an OBS setting in some form as well.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Streaming's difficult, man. There's always so many different things. Could be the game, could be the internet, could always be the program. But hopefully for you, we don't see too many more of these maps today. Final day of AoE4's Genesis. But expect the docks to be pumping out the fish. You can see it already. VortiX has his up. Mista has his up. And VortiX has just been more active with his scout. He's got the sheep behind his scout, and he's been all over Mista's base. See what Mista's up to.
Yeah, but the only thing that you can scout is to see if your opponent is going up with the School of Cavalry or if they are trying to approach it with the House of Commerce. But then you kind of have to wall.
Okay, here's a question, Nilly. And I think I even know what your answer is because I know you pretty well at this point. But what do you think of how much vision a single scout gives you in Dark Age?
Okay, and what's my answer going to be?
I think your answer is going to be, yes, it seems like a lot, but the town center also has a lot of range. So if the scout had less vision, it could easily go down to the town center. How's that for a Nilly?
Why did you ask me then?
Well, the reason I ask you is because my opinion is that I really hope you would have actually said that. I just think it's way too much vision for a Dark Age scout. Like,
Okay.
I don't know. I think that if you give a scout less vision, and this applies to other units as well, it involves higher skill elements. You know, you have to be more specific with your scout, and you're not as fortunate and lucky half the time with scouting important things. Speaking of scouts, Mista trying to deny a dock right now.
What you think about is also like the maximum diameter of scouting that they have, right? Often they are blocked by cliffs or by forests as well, where they can't see. On open field, they feel like they can see a lot. I agree with that. Yeah.
Like I don't mean to sound like too super tryhard over here, but I think it's another example of Age 4 lowering the skill gap with an important aspect of the game, and I think it might be like maybe there could be settings for that, similar to how like having hardest or easy in Age 2 would affect some aspects of the game, like wolves or something silly. So I don't know. It just seems like a lot of scouting. Like he's behind a wood line right now, and he could see the entire wood line if he just moves an inch or two closer. It just seems like a lot.
He can't really look into the woodline though.
True, because of the trees. Yeah.
If he's there, he can't look over it. So, as I said, like you are always thinking in the maximum on the open field woodline.
Yeah. So you're saying open field maybe a bit much, but when it's closed, it makes more sense because of the way it operates. I see.
They're actually scouting less than as if it was a completely open map.
Yeah. Well, he spotted the landmark from the bottom corner, so VortiX has that now. So his active scout has shown him the Chamber of Commerce, which I believe is expected. But we have, the same thing on the other side for VortiX, who will actually be in feudal age a little bit faster here.
Also, we have to think that the scout has to run back and drop off sheep at home.
Okay.
So the active, like me scouting the opponent time is shorter in Age of Empires 4 compared to Age of Empires 2.
Okay. Yeah, I can understand that aspect because there's other responsibilities. That's a lot of more fishing ships than I expected from Mista. Let me compare the differences. Mista has 11, and then VortiX has like 7?
8. You can select them. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have the sail upgrade here. So ships moving faster for VortiX instantly here. And opens with the Hulk. Obviously no surprise there. Double dock by both of them.
Yeah, so this is pretty much what's expected due to the bonuses of the French to be able to get out here and have success early game, but also the Hulk. It's
Hawk. I just clicked the unit. Hawk.
Does it say Hulk when you click it?
Yeah, it did.
Okay. Mine didn't do that. He yelled something else. Something in French.
Hulk.
Yeah, Hulk is an insane unit. Nilly, if you had to... I know you're doing everything to contain your excitement right now about this amazing but if you had to rate your level of excitement on a scale of 1 to 10 about this amazing water battle that's about to happen, what would you give it?
Well, since like the people won't enjoy the water battle on my stream, this is obviously like going down, right? If I could show everything, could just freely move, I think I would be a solid 5. Right now it's more of a 3.5.
3.5, okay.
Double attack by VortiX, right and left attack. Interesting move.
He seems to be very... He likes to aggro in situations where other players wouldn't do that.
Mm-hmm. And he finds kills.
Yeah, he did. Took one out a little earlier. Of course, you can just sail back to your dock, and then you can heal up. But, yeah, look at that. Very, very good work there from VortiX. That's fun to see. That's some high-level stuff right there, because it's very risky. We could easily be saying that it was a waste of a trip if he lost those ships.
Got 2 villager kills there, fishing ship kills there. And now, even in fishing ships, I believe, right? It's 8 to 9. Good job there.
Funny. They have the exact same income per minute right now. For food, sorry. Not for other resources. It was stuck there for pretty much a solid minute after the fishing ships went down. But then again, Mista had additional fishing ships the entire time. So as long as Mista doesn't get overwhelmed on water, he's now down to 9 from 11.
Archers.
Archers, ooh.
By VortiX.
See
That
that?
major distance. Why are we not going for knights?
That feels very odd to me. Like, maybe if you send the villager forward archer ranges would make sense because archers are quite slow. But yeah, Nilly, you're right. Maybe a knight would be more effective in the long term here. All right. Well, VortiX comes forward. He fires a shot. Same from Mista. And here we go. The Hulk battle. And very hard to make sense of these things, to be completely honest with you.
One
And
ship
so
going
I think
down.
in the end, they're just going to heal up at their docks.
Worst possible scenario for VortiX there. Losing one without killing one. And now healing up, so HP doesn't matter.
Yeah, exactly.
Double archer range, still no production. I don't understand this move at all by VortiX.
I feel like VortiX of all... And this feels so crazy to say of someone who's in the semis, right? But maybe you could even say the same about Lucifron. Like they're obviously extremely skilled, but maybe just a little rough around the edges with the transitions compared to some other players. Where like after this whole weekend, if I were to pick 2 players that could up their level higher from where they were at, maybe it'd be Lucifron VortiX. And VortiX might even make the final here, and I'm saying something like this, but this guy, I feel like has really good head in his shoulders, but occasionally takes some bad fights, maybe too aggressive. Late to archer production, things like that.
Now the big problem is archers. Will they get there in time, or will the walls finish? I think the walls will go up.
I mean, you could have your scout active there right now and try and block that off in some way. Scouts aren't hugely effective at attacking. Keeping an eye on their resources here, Nilly. Mista has more food and gold banked, so maybe Mista will be the first to arrive to the next age. I mean, if he has the walls down and that's the case, that'll be good. But of course, the fights on the water still very much matter here.
Okay, now moves in VortiX here, 7 Hulks. Again, 7 Hulks as well. Production of the next one will take some time. Still faster moving ships for VortiX. That's why he could take this engagement so nicely.
Yeah, additional sales is coming in right now for Mista, so he'll catch up on that upgrade. And you see the engagement as they're spinning around. Might make you a little dizzy. I can't imagine what the guys on the boats are feeling right now. I would not want to be on that boat. But yeah, we're going to see the same thing. Little one-and-done attack. Their ships are weak. And since the docks heal up the ship, you can go home.
Tristan, transporter with 10 archers. Now coming over, and TheMista added a 3rd dock at the right-hand side, so he might spot it a bit earlier, but that is so optimistic here, moving out there with the fishing ship, with the transporter.
Might not be optimistic because he just attacked and he knows where the docks are for Mista, and Mista wants his ships glued to the dock to heal up. So, I mean, it's obviously risky, but you kind of have to assume that Mista's just going to have his ships where they were before.
Let's take a look here. Transporter is obviously going to die afterwards. Archers need to run. Don't want to take anything from the Hulk. Don't focus the transporter. Why? You want to kill the archers. And only 9 left.
All right, 9 remaining. Here they go. And they run into a giant wood line. This is like the worst spot to arrive. But at least there's something here, Nilly. And they're going to make Ram. What? With only 9 archers, no reinforcements?
I think you need to send 2 villages with that and just build some barracks there.
Yes. I said it yesterday. I think transporting villagers will actually have more of a long-term effect. Mista's just making stables, and I feel like he makes like 1 or 2 knights, and he clears this whole thing. That is... I don't know, man.
And he's going for triple stable. Now the first knight's out. Has enough resources. Double TC play there. I think that won't be the play for VortiX here.
No, there's just no way. 68 eco for Mista. VortiX, 59. And he's just, quite frankly, investing into an attack that should not work on this type of a map. And I want it to work, believe me. I think this map would be more exciting if it would work. But I think the better play, Nilly, is forward buildings on the left or go knights like you said. And just don't allow the walls to happen. This is like option number 5 on a list of 5 things you should try, I think.
Squeezes through there. TC still shooting the archers. Oh, another misplay here by VortiX. Unfortunate there, surely. And finally, the TC is shooting at the Rams, but Knights are coming in.
Knights coming in. TC is still up. Could be repaired. Knights should clear
Major
up.
water fight.
Oh, and maybe this could work for VortiX. They're fighting in the water at the same time. They're twirling around. What in the world is happening? I mean, certainly fishing ships are going down for Mista, so the distraction is worth it for VortiX. And maybe this was the thought, Nilly. Distract Mista, attack 2 places at once. TC did go down. The Rams will go down as well.
Okay. Killing the TC is massive. And if he wins water behind this, VortiX is in a really good spot.
I guess the distraction's paying off here? I'm getting so dizzy, honestly, watching this. It's so uncomfortable.
Micro stopped for a second there for VortiX, but those docks should now go down. VortiX won the water.
So maybe the attack was worth it. I mean, he did take out a town center. Town centers aren't cheap at all in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And he only spent food, wood for Ram Archer.
But you have the Chamber of Commerce, right? So you can easily buy the TC again with all the resources that you have. Guildhall now, so Mista will advance to the Castle Age. While we see now Barracks being added by VortiX. He's expecting the Knight counterattack. Goes for Guildhall himself.
Okay. Well, if he completely wins water, he may have learned from his brother that he should trade with the coastal trade post. Water can be very important when it comes to long-term gold, which is an issue on this map if you don't expand towards the corner. This is the stage of the game where you start to see that expansion. And, well, Guildhall's on the way, like you said, Nilly. Barracks on the way. I think it's a good call to go into the barracks, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, he saw the triple stable, right? Or at least he saw lots of knights. So feels like a reasonable threat for sure.
Yep.
I just pray that we will see trade ships. For now, still fishing boats being added, which I understand as well.
Yeah. I think for now, fishing boats are good. But, like, at a certain point, you've got to start investing into trade. I feel like a lot of your teammates would start even adding some trade within the next minute or two.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Tato goes like 4 dock full boom on water.
Oh yeah, Tato would be all over that. Right, well, there's a gate now for Mista. He might want to push out at some point. I think you don't need to have the intent to kill right now. This is all about controlling the left side.
Yep.
Regardless of who you are.
Mista's doing, right? He's building the house, sees so much army from VortiX, knows that he can't do much on land. Walls are coming up there as well. And VortiX will control the full water here. I like the spot of VortiX again, but so did I when it came to the position of Lutifron yesterday. But the big difference, Viper had 3 TCs while Lutifron only had 1. For now, it's 2v1 TC, if I see that correctly.
This is true. Viper might be out there watching. In fact, he should be watching right now to see how his potential opponent in the final would be playing this map. I don't think Viper would necessarily have more or less confidence against either of these two. They seem very evenly matched, as we felt going into today.
Would love to see a gate at some point.
3 TCs from Mista. Okay.
Well, only makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Right now, no one can really do damage, and in the end, who wins that land wins the game.
Mista's sending his idle villagers somewhere home, I think, and he's accidentally sending his villager back home, unless this is all intentional. Okay, he's going to go to the deer. I'm just saying, you know, might want to fortify that area. I like the scout from VortiX, so he's going to see the house. He's going to be like, what? Why is there a house there and no units? But intent is there, certainly, to eventually take control of that. Wow, 150 pop for VortiX right now.
Wow, where's that coming from? Well, where is so much on water?
And a lot on water, yeah.
Is he preparing another landing?
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
I wish he'd send a villager too as well.
Well, he can build the siege now. Huh.
But what I would really like is if he can build up a little side base and just distract Mista and then take the other side while Mista's distracted. I think that would be the ideal scenario. I don't know. Very passive game here, Nilly.
Yeah, obviously walled up, and VortiX not really using the advantage that we are talking about by using the trade ship. Goes for another landing, but that's a lot of units here. Holy, and that's going to be a lot of rams. And Mister will have no idea. I think I would have liked to see an outpost, but already keep for the defense.
Okay. Nilly, question for you. And here come those rams now. Did you know that a trade ship is as expensive as it is?
300 wood, 100 gold? No, I did not.
Oh, yeah.
Also takes a minute.
I'm trying to think of the difference between that and a trade, a normal trade unit. I think that's 100, 100.
I thought it's 75, 75? The trader? Yeah.
Is it? Okay. I think there's a difference in campaigns and the actual game, by the way. As that's a lot of rams coming in.
But also already a lot of veteran Royal Knights there. TC might actually go down.
You know what? VortiX is proving me wrong a little bit with these little landings, man. He just shows up with so much.
But will it kill anything? Right now he's splitting off too much. I think he's overcommitting here. I think he's going in way too deep.
Didn't even make an argument to at least commit to the town center here. Like, he thinks he's going to take out the keep. But, like, take out the town center, then move on to the keep. Oh, God. He could have taken out that town center so easily.
Well, it's not that easy, right? It's a starting TC, so that has 7,000 HP. So that's not your easy walk in the park, but certainly, like, doing some damage against the keep, some damage against the TC, felt a bit indecisive.
Yeah, exactly. You commit to one thing is kind of the point of my statement there. And, yeah, I think in the end, Mista, he's going to hold here. And, like, VortiX not trading on water, which we think could be a way to do this. And he's not securing that left side. Granted, neither player is. It does kind of have Mista at a much lower pop. Mista's at 115 right now. VortiX at 185. So, yeah, I mean, he's got so much more on the field right now. 67 military.
Pretty crazy. Obviously, some dead population there on water that won't really be used. TC still seems to fall, but rams are getting really low.
Rams are getting low. Is this what VortiX is going to do to finish off the game, Nilly? Or is this just an attack that will help him take a greater foothold in the future?
It should naturally be the time to distract all the army and then take the left-hand side. But that's not really what he is doing. So I think the plan should be a bit different. And he should stop like constantly sending the army over there. Mista already knows about this attack, my friend.
Yeah. What's especially frustrating is that his brother was in the same position against Viper. So maybe they went to the drawing board after Lucifron lost that game against Viper, and they determined this is actually the way to do it. And forget about the left side. I mean, he just shows up with more. Maybe this is how he closes out the game. I mean, I'd love to be proven wrong. The guy's got 190 pop, and Mista only has 117. That's not changing.
Oh, and yeah, stables are now going down. He could just go for all the buildings here at the left-hand side as well, right? Blacksmith, more stables, more houses. This could pop lock the Mista heavily. Yep.
Now Mista is starting to make some buildings on the side we've been talking about, Nilly. With VortiX here to show us Age of Empires 2, guys. This is a different game, buddy. I don't need to take that side. I can just push this way and make it work, but I'm still... I doubt its effectiveness over the long term. I still do. I don't know.
The macros...
more military.
The macro is really solid here by VortiX. He's constantly sending over new groups, and this is really annoying.
You know, he could also have 5 barracks here.
Yeah.
A few bills, but here come the Rams. And there's just so many numbers from VortiX.
Oh, goes in deep. Knights now taking the fight against the Spearmen there. Not the biggest fan of that. Archers are going in deep as well. Outpost is falling. Keep under some attack, but Mista is pulling the villagers.
I mean, this is looking good for VortiX. If he can continue to send batches of units over, which is extremely hard to do, he could maybe push down this keep and push Mista back, but is making life so hard for himself right now. I think that's the way to say it, as the keep just gets repaired. The ram goes down, and he has to wait for another shipment of units, dude. Like, oh, VortiX.
Yeah, maybe VortiX doesn't have the wood or gold to produce more stuff over there, Tristan. Maybe not the
No.
wood for more
No.
barracks?
He's got 2,000 wood. He's got 3,000 gold. He could be mixing in trade and making barracks, but instead he's using transports. I mean, listen, more power to him. Maybe it's just because I'm a lazy RTS player. I'm not as quick as these guys, but like the whole transport thing is just so much additional APM put into something that could be replaced with forward buildings.
Mm-hmm. Also think the attack could maybe be a bit further to the left-hand side, where you don't constantly have to fight next to the keep.
Yeah, I agree. But like, now you have to wait, and you got to make more rams. It gives Mista time.
That's a lot of
And
rams.
Mista is I would say my concern with Mista is just the lack of military. He's only at 27, and maybe siege is what he needed. He has a mangonel now.
I think Man-at-Arms is what he needed.
Yeah, man-at-arms would be sick.
Oh,
Oh, mangonel shot. Oh, that's a really good shot. Right in that clumped up area.
a lot of
What
archers
is that?
going down. Uh-oh. That Mangonel is just crazy good.
Oh no. I'm like borderline tilted at this point with this push, so I hope that VortiX can have success with it, because my goodness, he just keeps bashing his head against the wall to take out this keep. Will he be able to do it? The Mangonel's not doing a lot of damage to that ram, but Mista is holding Nilly. He's holding. His population's at 130. VortiX is at 170. VortiX, either make forward buildings or take the left side. This is exactly how Lucifron, his brother, died against the Viper. Well, not exactly, excuse me, but similar situation, Nilly.
It just feels so wrong. Like, the strategic play here is simply not there. Now the Red Palace for the defense as well gives you the crazy siege as well, and that gives him another advantage if he wants to fight at the left-hand side. More stables there. I think Mista all of a sudden is in the winning position.
VortiX is like, he's throwing this game so hard, and I don't know the guy. You know, I don't know if he's a player who's known for just brute forcing his way through, but that's like 4 waves now that has failed. At what point does he say, maybe I should do something else? I don't even care what the something else is at this point. Ugh. Nilly, you got to keep me sane here, buddy. This is hurting to
There's
watch.
so many things that he's not doing, right? He's not going for the right-hand side. He's not trading. He's not getting that sacred side. He's not getting the sacred side at the left-hand side. He built an army that is easily countered, or not that easily countered by Men-at-Arms, but the Mangonel is just so easy. Constantly taking the same spot that is already blocked with the keep, not collecting any relics. Just like the long-term plan and the development is not there.
So here's a thought, okay? VortiX comes from other games, right? That are very different from Age of Empires 2, where we have a lot of background. And Age 2 is very much of a prep for late game type of game at some stages, like getting relics, investing into trade, and getting important positions fortified. Is it possible that with the games that VortiX plays, and I think there's a few, you just don't have those aspects to it? Like, does that, like, what's he play? Does he play StarCraft? I forget. I know it was
StarCraft and Warcraft and Heroes of the Storm. And yeah, there's no water play there. By the way,
No water-
VortiX has no idea that Mista is there. We have the keep, we have all the stables, and he's just trying to build 3 siege workshops there. He has
That's such
no idea at the left-hand side. And remember, stables next to a keep build those knights even cheaper for French.
Yeah. I feel like it's just such a basic thing for us, Nilly, that VortiX just hasn't encountered this scenario enough in his career. And maybe, like, there's been conversations where people are too stuck in AoE2 brain when playing AoE4. It's a different game. You got to play it differently. But maybe, like, this is one aspect where AoE4 is similar. And it's helping someone like Mista, who does have a bigger background in Age of Empires.
Yeah. And also, like, Age of Mythology, it also had water aspects, right?
Yeah.
So you were trying to control the sides and then try to manage your advantages there.
And I don't even think, like, I'm not even talking water aspect. I'm just talking about this left side. Like, after the first attack, sure, like, whatever. I think then you've just got to switch of focus a little bit. And I know that the whole trading thing for AoE 4 is also fairly unique, right? Like, in AoE 2, you didn't have the trade in 1v1s, at least. 198 pop for a player we feel has made big mistakes right now, nearly 200 pop. Against 170 pop for Mista. Very campy map.
Oh,
but
goes for
good
some
control.
demos here. Oh, they're called... How are they called? Demolition ships, yeah.
Where are they? Sorry?
Redog from Mista in the center, but only one dog. So not the craziest thing.
Okay. I see that. Here come the Elite Royal Knights. They've somehow made it through. And these Elite Royal Knights are going to wreck this gold. So that's very good. They could even break through the Palisade wall if they wanted to. Random Mangonel is not going to do enough there for Mista. VortiX, good attack.
Yeah, but TC is helping out a bit as well. We have the tower helping out quite a bit as well. And yeah, those knights aren't getting into those Palisade gates.
Yeah, you can't run through an open gate with Knights in Age of Empires 4. You just can't. I really like that aspect in Age 2. How if a gate was open, you could run through, but not yet or not ever. We'll see what happens.
Certainly invites to some highlight scenes in AoE2.
Just another like fancy little skill element, you know? Look at this demo go in, Nilly. Oh, never mind. VortiX shot it down.
I think the spot for Mista is just so much better now. Gets access to 2 of the gold mines. Has all the production. Can fully focus on the land attack.
Elite Man-at-Arms. Is that the first time we've seen Elite Man-at-Arms this weekend? I think maybe we saw one other time.
Well, we didn't see that many imp games, right? So, yeah, makes somewhat sense.
I'm trying to think back, but we've got archers, we've got Elite Man-at-Arms, we've got the Elite Royal Knights, lots of Elite. Mista, man. I'm looking at his military count. He's got 70 military. VortiX has 55 military, and he lacks an important position, as we've been talking about for the last 20 minutes.
55 military, and that's some not really usable military on water as well.
I mean, imagine if there was a hill bonus in H4. This would be even worse. Just on the bright side, you could fight uphill if you're VortiX, but he's making veteran spearmen. He just is going to get completely wrecked here. Mista's going to...
The cannon in the back might help out a bit, but yeah, certainly numbers are just way better for the Mista, and he's just jumping on those cannons now. It takes a convincing fight.
Oh, man, and VortiX has just got to be shaking his head. Like, I did so many correct things in this game, and I couldn't break him. What is happening? Like, again, I don't know the player's mindset, but I would be tilted if I lost this game. Like, he had a massive score lead. Granted, he doesn't see that in game, and score might not even work correctly yet in this game. But like, score is typically an indicator of someone's position, and he had the better position, Nildy. I'm sorry, but in the semifinal, you just always have to win from the position VortiX found himself in.
Yeah, and it's I think might have been even a bigger throw than the Viper Lucifron situation.
Oh yeah.
Because Viper had a way better setup there. The Mista was behind, and just this constant raiding with the same units from the same angle over and over again. The game is not over yet, but it just feels like VortiX might have delivered the biggest throw of the tournament so far.
Biggest throw of the tourney easily. There's just no way to put it. And sometimes as casters, we have to be harsh, right? And harsh reality is this was not even one complete misplay, but like multiple misplays from VortiX with no attempt to ever transition out of something that was not working. The equivalent of banging your head against a wall until you're knocked out. Like, crazy. And he's still at 164 population, Nilly, but he is not going to be in a good spot for long-term resources. Again, not even trading on water. And I think his comp is a little bit worse now as well.
He just tried to finish the game in a spot where he can just secure the game so much easier for himself.
Yeah, I think it's just an outlook that is not present for him because of his background would be my guess. Because he's so good, he's so talented as a player, clearly, to make it here. It's not a skill thing. It's just an experience thing. So, you got to lose games sometimes to win games in the future, and I think this is going to be one for him. But maybe not. I don't know. I mean, he's still not resigning right now. He shouldn't. He's at 170 pop.
How much wood does he have? Okay, enough wood. How much gold does he have? 2.5k left.
This game literally could go on for like another 30 minutes if Mista doesn't want to attack. I mean, there's so much wood in the back, so like wood isn't an issue. It's just going to be gold for VortiX.
Yeah, and he should know that. Like, I think VortiX at some point needs to attack, which is going to be a guaranteed losing fight if I look at this army of Mista on the hill here.
Yeah. Well, and if you're in Mista's position, you just prep your queue, make sure you're getting upgrades on everything, right? And get to 200 pop, and then if the attack happens, you just instantly back up to 200 pop with more military.
I don't like that he's not like dipping his toe in with some cannons. Like 4 cannons here.
Yeah.
And just kill the buildings already, try to contest the keep a bit.
Yeah. Could get the sacred site as well. I don't know.
Yeah, the Mista can't, right? Simply because he doesn't have the water control.
Oh, if he had got cannons.
Okay. Yeah.
You make cannons, you could shoot that, but it's not like sacred site feels very unimportant when you have the rest of the things that Mista has right now. He's got, trying to do the math here, like 15,000 gold remaining.
Endless, surely. Yeah. 4.5. And I like that he's not even taking the gold at home. Like, he's doing so many advanced moves, so many advanced tricks here. He's so patient as well.
Yeah.
Whoa.
This
won't be a pretty fight.
Yeah. I'm actually hoping this fight comes sooner rather than later. Because I just can't look at this anymore. Oh man, it's so sad to see how this played out. There will be a lot of Royal Knights. I'm trying to click the units to see the stats to make sure upgrades aren't missing. Actually, VortiX is missing. He doesn't have. Oof, what's the upgrade? It gives you additional HP.
Biology.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gives you 35% more HP on your knights.
Yeah.
Crucial upgrade. I don't even see a university.
Oh, it's uni. Gotcha. It would make sense. Biology would be.
Also that he doesn't build the stables next to his keep. Just means he has 20% fewer knights.
Yeah. I think a lot of the... I won't blame him too much for the decisions made over the last couple minutes because he put himself in a hole and that's where mistakes are made, but he does have a lot of military here. He's going to fight. Here we go. Let's hope these elite men-at-arms do something. Oh, look at the siege. The walls were just deleted there. VortiX wants the full surrounds here, Nilly.
And he's going for it. Bombard cannons are moving in as well, though, but that is kind of the one army that VortiX can build. So if he isn't winning convincingly, he's not winning at all.
Yeah, it's not even going to be close. I mean, missing out on the basic upgrade. He's probably looking at the HP on the enemy knights, and he's like, no, I missed an upgrade. What's going on here? How did I lose this game? That was painful to watch, Nearly. VortiX falls to Mista, but Mista, I know that he lost water and whatnot, but he did do everything right when the Rams started coming in. He was making the knights. He was patient. When he found the opportunity, he expanded to the left side, and Mista finds himself up 2-1.
There was such a big gap of military in Castle Age there. Just so much more. No buildings, no control over at the left-hand side. And the Mista defended with so little. If we look at the numbers, it was like 90 military to 20. And somehow Mista made the defense happen. That should not happen.
I hope this next game is really good because I never want to have to think about that one again. I should clarify, I'm not, and you aren't either, of course, Nilly, trying to be disrespectful at all. We're here to cast the games and talk about the situations, but that just pained me so much.
And it's like the worst thing for me might be that Lucifron was in the same spot yesterday,
Yes.
and over the last like 20 hours that they had to prepare, they didn't come up with how to proceed after winning water to win the game. They didn't realize how important it is to control that land side.
Yeah. Like after Lucifron loses to Viper, they should look at that game and say, oh, Viper expanded to the corner and he was trading in that area. We need to do that when we get a lead. And it was just, if anything, Nilly, VortiX doubled down on like a concept that his brother lost with in the other game. So I don't know. Again, we are going to have another game here. VortiX is a extremely skilled player, but that one might be one that he lives to regret tomorrow morning. Will be able to play with the French again, and Mista will not be able to because Mista just won with the French.
Yeah, might be a good advantage for them. I will take a 3-minute break. See you then.
Yep, sounds good. See ya. Yeah, chat, I need a 3-minute break as well, mainly because that tilted me, and I need to go run back and forth.
Oy. That was a rough game. VortiX falling, as well as Lucifron did yesterday on Boulder Bay in a weird fashion after winning water. Phew. Rough jam as well. Ghost of Joda in the chat made that one. If you want to know about it, exclamation mark hype song. Last game equivalent of US losing Vietnam War? Really? Okay. They're both great champions, but TheMista excel when in the right call. Okay. Anyone got any advice on how to hate physics less? Know that physics makes your life easier. Right? Just think about it. You lay down on bed and gravity pulls you down so you can sleep comfortably. No gravity, you would just be floating, smashing your head, and you wouldn't be sleeping well. Physics. You have to love it. Drinking water is so much easier with physics as well, yeah. How do I know if love... How do I know if I love someone? Ooh, that's a complex question. Like, are you 30 and asking, or are you 14 and asking? I have different answers for that. Is NSC4 going to be AoE 2 or AoE 4? What is NSC4? Such games just break your heart. Can VortiX recover from this heartbreak? I don't know. Try answer that question with physics. I'd be impressed. Ah, nice, yeah. Well, that's more chemistry, right? I think.
Here, 1 second, Nilly. I'll be right in.
Okay. How to not hate studying math in order to get a degree in physics. Oh, you want a degree in physics and hate math? That's going to be a rough one for you. How much do you want to study physics? Most of the time, if you have a big goal and something on the way is annoying you, then you don't really envision the big goal. So really know, why do you want to study physics? And if you know, like, everything is not a burden, but just a step to your favorite goal, or to reaching your goal, then it's way easier to go those steps.
Lucifron's ultimate goal, or not Lucifron, VortiX. Damn it, I ruined the joke. Anyways, Nilly, nice life advice there. I caught the tail end of that. Let's go. VortiX versus Mista, game number 4. And, ooh, have we seen this map yet? There's a lot of stealth forest out here. I don't think we've seen that yet.
Nope, we have not. So which one is that? Huh. Still have the best of 37 open. I didn't look at that then.
Yeah, I don't remember all the names, but I'll defer to you on that one.
Could be High View.
High View, okay.
I will go with High View.
That does make sense. You know, they're kind of high up there, and there's lots to see out there. All right. Frank's for VortiX. He hopes to be able to perform a little better here, and he's up against the Roos. So he's killing the hunt, and he's luring up the wolves, and he's doing this because Roos gets some bounty when they kill the animals. So expect a lot of dead animals here.
I'm expecting them killing the first deer. Double wolf also. So VortiX already denying what's going to be 120 bounty and 120 gold here. Good start for him on that one. Also found some nice amount of sheep. But where are his villagers? They're hiding in the TC.
Whose villagers? Sorry, Mista?
VortiX. Show me his food villagers.
I don't see them.
They're under the TC. I didn't know that's an option.
Whoa. Did that have to do with being on the opponent's point of view? Oh, wow.
Ah, okay.
So if Mista were to see that, I guess the villagers are behind the walls.
Yeah,
but if you're the player, like if you're VortiX, you can see them. Interesting. Yeah, I've never seen that before either.
Okay. VortiX, by the way, opened with the second scout himself, although he is French, simply to deny all those deer. So good spot, denied 2 spots, and now they're contesting the right spot.
Oh, look at this, yeah. Testing the right spot. We'll probably share the spoils, but VortiX killing a lot more here.
Oh, great micro by VortiX.
I think Mista got 1.
Yeah, something like that.
However many were there.
That's so little gold.
Oh, right now. But
So-
I missed them, actually.
The Mista is only at 140 bounty.
Not good. Not near as high as you typically see. That's extremely low, actually, for Roos.
Yeah.
He's going to get a wolf, though, on the right side.
Didn't
just
Viper? Wasn't
stuff?
Viper at 490 at 4-minute mark?
Yeah, something like that. I remember Hera had around like 400 or 500 as well. I think 165 is probably the lowest bounty I've seen.
Especially with 3 scouts.
It's a greater investment into the scouts and then not getting all that bounty. Not the best start here for Mista. Golden Gate on the way up. That it acts as a very efficient market for Mista. By the way, I'm not too familiar with the build for the Roos. Is it common to open hunting cabin like that?
Hunting cabin gives you gold. So yeah, you go hunting cabin. Also, you can produce scouts out of the hunting cabin.
Yeah,
so
okay,
it's the standard building for you.
Yeah, they look very similar to houses to me, so I must not have picked up on it in some of the previous games.
Mm-hmm. Okay, at
Does
least he
make
gets 2 more wolves here. So we get up to 200. And hunting cabins feel really good on this map. Holy moly.
Right? Lots of little areas to plop them down. I wonder how the increased amount of stealth forests will affect the fights. 'Cause there's a lot of it, and you can see it very present on the minimap.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like any type of forward attack would be, or not like a forward base, I guess, would be strong here, but it doesn't feel like it'd be very strong for the civs.
How much will that hunting cabin give at the top? I go for 22.
Oh, well, I clicked it, so.
At the top, it's not finished. Oh no, it's finished now. 27! Holy.
Ooh. All right.
And that's on tier 1.
All right.
Wow.
Well, Mista needs that. He certainly picked a good civ for the map, right?
Oh yeah, he did.
Too bad. School of Cavalry now for VortiX. And that is to be expected as we're going to see those Royal Knights come out, Nilly. Thinking maybe Mista will expect that as well. Mista will prep some defense, but he's a very compact eco around his TC right now, which is very nice for him.
Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't be surprised with all this gold if he just goes for an extra TC. Maybe between the berries and the gold.
Maybe. More compact, the better then.
Huh.
Comes the Royal Knights right now for VortiX. He's got one. I don't know, man. I mean, if he's able to find the hunting cabins, but you know what's interesting about a hunting cabin in the stealth forest? Is that it's a lot more difficult for the opponent to find it.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yeah.
So, just how Fog of War operates in the stealth forest is a lot different. And, you know, thinking back to the conversation we had in the other game about the line of sight from scouts, maybe if there were just more stealth forests, I would like that. I do like the fact that you can really customize maps in the long term with stealth forests. Like, there's so many ideas. If a scenario editor actually gets introduced, or an editor in general for maps, could be really nice.
Okay, first Royal Knight out now. Shouldn't really get too much done. Too close to the TC, the woodline here.
Right. And Royal Knight will run away from that. Should be able to get free, and we see a barracks from Mista, so he knows what's up. He's like, let's get some spearmen out here. Yeah, let's see VortiX's point of view. Oh, he already scouted the hunting cabins, actually. Wow, great job.
Okay, going for some now.
I think he killed the villager that was out there. There was a vill that had built that, so
He
I think that's
killed
down.
the villager, or is killing the villager at the bottom? The other villager is still further at the right-hand side.
Yep.
But that's not the greatest hunting cabin, right? It's kind of in the radius outside of the map. No, it's not. Okay.
Trees in there, or is it not?
Oh no, actually, it's small enough. 26.
No, that's yeah. I mean, there's a lot of stuff they're doing here too. You can't be too nitpicky. Like, what he's doing is very, very tough with the multitasking. He's got to pick up all the deer, bring them home with the professional scouts. Also has to make the cabins. Also has to make some spearmen. Also has to do everything else. So, not too bad for Mista.
Runs home now, goes for some more spearmen. Finally, the wooden fortress gives you some more wood income. My big question still is like, what's our transition going to be? Are we trying to play Castle Age here? Or is it going to be the second TC?
I've got like 3 civs down when it comes to how they play out with military and in the mid-game, Nilly. And those civs would probably be French, Mongols, and English. Apart from that, the other civilizations, I'm still a little bit clueless when I see them. Maybe the players aren't too sure either. I mean, VortiX is definitely going second TC. He's about to have the resources for that.
Double stable by the Mista now being dropped.
Double stable? Interesting. Do you like that? Like, I guess it would allow him to do something offensively. Key now.
It certainly should. Maybe he finds the timing to kill the TC, but nah, it's between the woodline and the gold. Far away. I don't really see that as an option.
Yeah, good TC. I really like that town center. Also, good defense here from Mista. And VortiX has to know that that's going to happen here. He pays very close attention. And he'll just run away. Did not get chivalry yet, Nilly. But he has been very active with the Royal Knights, trying to deny hunting cabin or take them out. But that one villager, man, is still all around making hunting cabins. That is going to pay off in the long run for Mista.
Mm-hmm. I want to see what's his gold income. He has 119 and without a single villager on gold all game long.
That's not bad. And that's only going to increase with the hunting cabins.
168.
The thing is, it doesn't seem like the Royal Knights do that much damage to the hunting cabins. Might not be the go-to unit to take out buildings. But I don't know if in this age it's really worth going for anything else or not. I haven't toyed around with that too much.
Double stable. Actually goes for a horseman as well. Goes for a knight. Maybe we need to go on to gold now. Because if we try to go double stable, knight production, we need more gold. But no, he's just rushing more hunting cabins.
He's all over the place with these hunting cabins. And it's almost so bold that I don't think that VortiX will ever look over here, you know? He's very focused in the corners close by to Mista's base. Sneaky. Like, I know the previous game was a bit of a frustrating one, but this matchup has definitely delivered with these players because Mista, I think, is better strategically and with decision making, but I think VortiX is just a little faster, possibly, you know? A little bit quicker to the punch. Just, is he going to have the right decisions and the right follow-up to certain things?
Yeah, I already disagreed with you there yesterday. I was really impressed when I watched TheMista stream. I think his macro is really solid, his control, his cleanness. So I'm a big fan of his execution as well.
Yeah, it could just be what he tries to execute on that's different. As we see a big fight over here. Great micro from VortiX to keep the weak Royal Knight alive. But we're getting a lot of military onto the field from Mista, who's up 2-1 right now. Will he be able to close out one more game here, make it to the final? What a big achievement that would be for him. Hunting cabins everywhere. I'm still looking at the income per minute with gold. VortiX is above that. But he's got 2 TCs right now. So lots of villagers on gold.
Yeah, the big difference there. And look at that. The Mista still at 268. Ran away from that one hunting cabin. And that's simply like all the red dots on the minimap. It just feels crazy.
Oh, villager finally gets spotted, but it's spotted by a scout. In the end, that villager should die. But that's important because I think VortiX might head over there and look for more cabins.
That should be a really good cabin as well, if that one finishes. I think that could be a 31. Yeah, 30.
Wow. Well, we'll see how quickly these things go down, if they go down nearly. A great defense for Mista so far, and great job with the hunting cabins. And you got to be careful with your VortiX. Yes, your knights have chivalry, so they're healing up, but you got to make sure you stay away from all these units out here from Mista. Nilly, there's currently a 12 villager lead. Let's see, 51 villagers for VortiX. Mista at 39.
But just
pretty big lead with villagers.
Yeah, but just consider every hunting cabin another village on gold as well.
Yeah, true. Yep, as that villager will die. That hunting cabin denied.
And we will have a feudal age all in by the Mista. We're going for the third stable here. We have siege engineers. We're going for the melee attack. And this is going to be a TC ram push against VortiX.
Really like that, actually. He's got enough hunting cabins still out there. If you look at Mista's military, he's got 27. And VortiX is 21. If he can double down on military and include some siege, he could definitely make a push. Think about VortiX. He's going to have so much of his military away from his base right now because he wants to take out the hunting cabins. So, yeah, I could see him being out of position and maybe not expecting this. And Mista's income per minute is skyrocketing right now. He's got more food, wood, and gold income per minute despite having fewer villagers.
Yeah, that's crazy. I don't even know how that's possible because villagers actually... maybe because he just built all his farms here and that's why he didn't have any income. Might have been a thing. We need more siege here. Now the first ram.
Right, first ram being built. And I love the stealth force aspect of this map, and I'm sure Mista does too because of the hunting cabins. Hunting cabins have been so efficient for him.
Just goes wild.
I have a question about the way, okay, the hunting cabins work in this, right? So
Yeah.
you get the gold per minute, correct?
Yeah.
Is it a minute after it's built, or is it every minute in the game?
Every minute in the game. That's 30 gold
Okay.
per minute.
Yeah, but you don't understand what I'm saying. Like, per minute from the hunting cabin's existence,
Yeah.
or per general minute?
Per after it's built.
Yes.
Yeah. It's you can't build one at minute 10 and get 300 gold.
Yeah, okay. I was thinking, like, because if it makes sense for it to be a minute after it's built, but it's a lot of different trackers, so that's why I had asked.
Okay.
That's how it should be, because otherwise people would just like they could abuse that aspect. And oh man, here comes the attack, Nilly. We've got the knights and we've got the spearmen. Is there going to be enough from VortiX to stop this military? He's got 36 military. He doesn't have it all here. Mista with 46 military.
Oh, tricky spot.
It doesn't matter. Rams are in there. Knights are going to go in after the archers. There's not enough archers to really matter in this fight. It's more about the melee units. You have Royal Knights looping around from behind, picking off some reinforcements, but the TC goes down for VortiX.
More knights are coming over. There's no real answer to this, but only one TC down is not the worst thing if you don't lose the villagers, but they are fighting back now.
Yeah, I see that. And maybe villagers against the Ram would be helpful here. And you've got a little attack. Oh, look at the farms for VortiX right now. You've got knights on the farms. He hasn't realized, Nilly.
Oh.
Killed like 5 or 6 villagers there. Finally, he reacts. And VortiX hits Castle Age. Mista still in feudal. He's got to continue pushing here. And he still has the Rams.
And the solid 10 population lead now pushed away from that gold. Where do we get gold here for VortiX? That was his main gold.
That's the spot right there. He doesn't have access to hunting cabins. He doesn't have any back golds. It was all about that area of the map. And the other gold is right next to Mista's army. If Mista can continue this, Castle Age could kind of be a little bit of a waste here for VortiX.
More barracks, and this could be a big fight coming in. I think just finish those barracks off, and VortiX can't do anything here. He has to rely on going full spearman.
I think you're right. And the barracks are most certainly going to be finished off, Nilly. Mista is all over the place. It's like the map has chicken pox with those hunting cabins. And he's like, I don't care if you have a second TC. What a great strategy choice for this map. Great job with the execution. And that main TC could even go down shortly. There's nothing to stop this.
Oh, still lots of HP on that one. Knights are now coming over, but certainly feels like a good attack here by TheMista. Tries to take another attack, and the resource income just so much better for our Greek.
Yeah, he's got double the food income. He actually has gold income, despite not really even needing to be on gold too heavily with it. Nearly. And for VortiX, it's all wood right now. But you can see exactly where those lumberjacks are. They're on the left side. They're now running away. The Rams still haven't fully been dealt with. I mean, this will just continue.
Oh, and villagers trying to fight this one off. So many idle villagers, and we have 100 population for TheMista. VortiX is sitting at 70, but so much of that is idle.
And Mista, I think this is where he could put his pedal to the metal, so to speak. If he can continue this and show up with a little bit more, this is certainly game over. Look at the villagers. If the villagers have to run in there like that, you know you're going to have some problems. Villagers will not be able to fight it off, especially with the amount of knights in there. This could be the end for VortiX. Mista so close to taking out the main TC.
What a crazy aggression here. TheMista playing this map to perfection with all the hunting cabins at the side. And this is a beautiful feudal age all-in. VortiX being caught off guard shortly after reaching Castle Age.
This is beautiful. He has made more hunting cabins in one game than I have seen with this civilization in all the other Roost games combined. Seriously. He committed to those hunting cabins and made me feel like this Roost civilization is actually strong in the mid game. What a way to use this civilization. In some ways, you could consider that a new strategy too, because of that commitment against 2 TCs pranks, Mista gets the victory. What a player.
What a crazy, crazy play. And that was like the perfect strategy for this map as well. Because you can hide those hunting cabins. You will always get all the control. There's so much gold that they're generating. We had some with like 30 gold. And remember how poorly the game started. With so little bounty as well. Just imagine he reached tier 3.
Right? I know. I just... It's so cool to me how we see that map for the first time, and we also see what seems like the perfect strategy for that map soon after. This is a player, man, who has a good head on his shoulders and has some excellent strategies, and maybe even has some strategies still that he hasn't shown us, Nilly, that he could take to the final against the Viper.
Crazy, crazy stuff. So it will be the Mista against the Viper in the finals best of 7.
We'll possibly see maps that we have not seen yet in the final too, because there will be more games, right? But I think before we talk about Viper and Mista, VortiX, I think he's a great player. It's just the decision making lacking at times. Like Boulder Bay, he should have never lost. That's going to be something he can go back to the drawing board on. I expect to see a lot more of him in the future.
Yeah. So do I. I think they will learn so much from this. They're still super motivated. And Viper against Mista is just going to be so good. But yeah, we will see more of VortiX and more of Lucifer in the future.
I think we're about to have the best possible final in terms of the matchup with Mista and Viper.